Hello everybody, this is Jan Schünemann from Lifestyle Dentistry. Today I'm gonna talk about ceramics. Ceramics in case of metal ceramics. So some people ask me if I use non-precious metal, should I use a bonder? Yes, you should. It is a bonder, it bonds better, and it's more for your own security, and even the bonding on the frame structure is even better. But okay, let's go step by step to that. Metal ceramic in general. And the question of today was how to use the NEM bonder. As I said, it is necessary to use a bonder. But before we use a bonder, we have to have, of course, a frame structure, and for sure we need a nice model. The models can be in different materials, classical way and plaster, and as well we have printed models. I personally prefer the plaster models, and there is a reason for that, because I see that there is more details on the surface on the plaster. I can see more details. I can see them even a little bit better than on printed models. The printed models getting better and better, this is no doubt about that, but in the moment I personally prefer the plaster models. So, and if we go to the frame structures, we have options, different options. Today I want to talk about the non-precious options. We can do these copings or frame structures, what we need. We can do this, of course, in a classical way of waxing and casting. But there's also a big benefit if we have a scanner and a design software to create them. And if we don't have a milling machine for metal, which are really expensive, we can send the files easy to a milling center. They can do these frame structures even better than I can cast that. So if we send the files, what I get back is a nice structure would fit perfectly. Everything is done. I have a very homogeneous material there, because it's made out of one block. You have also the options in manufacturing this with sinter metal. But anyhow, I found for myself that these milled copings are really precise, very homogeneous and very stable. And before we get to apply the bonder material, we have to sandblast and to do an oxidation on our frame structures. After we do this oxidation firing at 980 degrees, we have these really black copings. There are some reasons for doing this oxidation. One thing is that even more if we cast this, if there is some dirt in the frame structures or something, we can see this after the oxidation even better. Second is in the process of firing, I want that in the first oxidation the main oxides coming out of the material. So the following steps, the oxide is a little bit less. So first of all, control, and then getting the most oxides out of the material, and then we get to the next level to sandblast this. Sandblasting is as well important, because we do not bring the bonder on this oxide so we have to oxide, to sandblast them again. And then we have this material as we can start with a bonder. To see this in the model here, you can see there are these different versions. One is direct coming out of the furnace after oxidation, and these three copings are already sandblasted. Maybe I got a little bit closer that you can see the difference a little bit better. Here you can see there's a big difference between the sandblasted ones and the unsandblasted. So the next step is, according to this, I will take one of these copings. I will hold it here by this instrument, and then I will apply the bonder. The bonder I use is the NOVACer MC bonder. If you realize the color of the bonder, if you apply this, is pink. So that's really a big benefit. You know why? Because you can see exactly what you are doing on the frame and how you cover everything. Getting closer to that, I will show you how to apply. I take with a little brush, a little bit of the bonder, and I start on the incisal part of the coping and swipe the bonder down. So now you understand, or you can see how easy I have control that all parts of the frame is being covered with the paste. I have really a good control because of the contrast from the metal to this pink paste. After the firing, of course, it's not pink anymore. The color is gone, but to apply, it's really a benefit to see that much better what we do there. So easy to apply, as you can see. Every part is covered. So now, maybe there is not a little, okay, everything is covered. Okay, so now I take my tray and I place the coping on my tray, and then it goes into the furnace by a temperature of 980 degrees. With this 980 degrees, we will have a result like this. So, finishing that, we get to the next step. We need to apply the paste opaque. In general, I was never a big fan of paste opaques. I basically learned to use powder opaques. The positive thing on the powder opaques, they dry very fast. We can apply this very fast, and it dries very fast, etc. This is a benefit, but the controlling about the thickness is not that easy. So with the paste opaques, we have the possibility to apply a very thin layer. This is a big benefit. So let's get closer to that. If I add here a little bit of this paste opaque on my plate, I can make this a little bit thinner, sometimes it's a little bit sticky coming out of the tube. So if you want to make this a little bit thinner, you should maybe just add only 1 drop of glaze liquid. Start with very less. Don't apply too much of liquid, because if you apply too much of the liquid, you may have some bubbles or porosities after firing. So to apply, we get a little bit closer again. Here is the coping after firing the bonding. Now I take apart, and the same procedure. What I do, I start with the incisal edge and swipe the paste opaque. In this case here, it's a paste opaque A2. Swipe this down. Yeah. It's also easy to apply. So every part should be covered. And if we covered everything, I will condense this as well a little bit to get a really smooth surface after firing. And control the firing. This should be not too shiny coming out of the furnace. It should look a little bit like an eggshell, not too glazy, not too shiny. So control your furnace perhaps, that it's not too high in the temperature. Okay, good. So now I take an instrument and I will condense this. Be careful not that it's falling off. And you can see in the camera very good how shiny this is now, and compact. So again, now we go back to the furnace. I will drop this on my tray, and now the firing temperature is 920 degrees, and if it comes out of the furnace, it should look more or less like this. Not too shiny, a little bit like eggshell. So this depends on the temperature, what you have on your ceramic furnace. And this is the first step, what we need to go for the next level. The next level is going to be the building up the first layer, the first bake, porcelain build up. This is going to be the next video. For now, I would like to say thank you very much to watching my first video tutorial. It starts with opaque, of course. So hope to see you on the next level. And if you like this, please subscribe down and say like or whatever, or follow us. It would be a pleasure. So thank you very much for your attention, and hope to see you again. Thank you very much. Bye.